We're back here in Birmingham for the American Tipoff. The 2025-26 basketball season is right around the corner. The team that a lot of people are excited about are the South Florida Bulls. They're picked to finish second in the preseason poll. In the offseason, they hired new head coach Bryan Hodgson, who comes to the Bay from Arkansas State, where he spent 2 seasons at the helm of that program and boasted back-to-back 20-win seasons. The Bulls returned 2 players, one of which is C.J. Brown. C.J., his teammate Joseph Pinion, and head coach Bryan Hodgson join us now here at the American Tipoff. Guys, welcome to Birmingham.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
We're excited that you're here, Coach. I'm really excited in particular because I saw this video on your social media in which you were talking to your team, I think it was after practice, and you were saying how you want them to practice harder than anybody else in the country and that you want them to play incredibly fast. So how would you describe the way that they've taken to that message and sort of ran with it so far in workouts?
Yeah, I think they've done a good job, to be honest with you. We talk a lot about we want practice to be harder than games, so when you walk into a game environment, you feel prepared, and it's an adjustment everywhere, every stop I've made, and we bring that style of play. It takes the new guys a while to adjust to that pace, but I think this group's done a really good job of making that adjustment so far.
What's interesting is a lot of times the general thought process is, hey, you guys played fast at Arkansas State, right? New program. And you brought some of the guys, obviously one of the guys with you, but then you have to find guys in the portal. How do you conceptualize that in practice of those building blocks of this is how we play and this is the speed in which we want to do it?
Yeah, we have some different metrics that we use, in terminology specific on offense. Time on the shot clock where certain situations we want all 5 guys to be in scoring position by a certain time on the shot clock. But it starts in the recruiting process, to be honest with you, finding guys that fit that.
And so you can't talk about college basketball without talking about, obviously, NIL, transfer portal, the whole thing. That's just a part of it right now. But you've been on record talking about how the administration at South Florida has been very supportive of where you want to take this program.
Absolutely. It's one of the reasons why I took the job. We're very fortunate at South Florida to have phenomenal leadership from the president down to our board of trustees, Will Weatherford, Mike Griffin, the rest of the trustees, Jay Stroman, CEO of our foundation, and obviously our new CEO for athletics, Rob Higgins. Across the board, they're all in on South Florida athletics and doing what it takes to put our brand on a national stage and be competitive at the highest level.
Now, Joseph, Coach told us why he wanted to come to South Florida. He brings you with him. What went into that decision for you, just deciding to come to the Bay?
It wasn't a really hard decision for me because I was going to come back to, Arkansas State if Coach Hodge had stayed. So it wasn't really too difficult for me. As soon as he got the job, he talked to me, and I was all in from then.
CJ, I just have this is really a jealousy question because I was maybe a 10th of the defender that you are. Right, and so I'm just going to read something to you, okay? So you had the highest steal rate amongst all American Conference freshmen last season. The 16th best steal rate in the nation regardless of classification. Why do you hate offense so much?
I just always try to preach that defense leads to offense. So if you could stop a team
Coach,
from scoring,
you've been that's a phenomenal answer.
Well coached.
Yeah.
If you could stop a team from scoring, then offense comes easier. So I always try to hang my head and pride on defense.
Where does that come from, though? I mean, is that something that was instilled in you at a young age? You always play like that when you were younger?
Yes, sir. My dad always preached defense. He would have me doing sliding drills at maybe 7 years old.
Oh, man.
So, is there video footage of this, of you doing the sliding drill?
There probably is. My mom always had a camera in her hand.
All right. We're gonna have to talk to Mom and Dad and find that. Yeah, your first national TV game, if it's on there, I don't want any responsibility, but I might have given it to them, just so you know. Coach, when you take over a program like this and you have somebody like CJ who stays, how do you get him to stay? And when you were able to, how does that help your team?
I think first and foremost it says a lot about the University of South Florida and the people there. CJ wanted to be at USF. And then, when I got to spend some time with him and talked about what I wanted to do, my vision for the program, I think it aligned with who he wants to be as a player and the way that he wants to play. And we were ecstatic because going into, walking into my first day on the job, I knew that he was priority number one. Loved the way he played, loved starting with defensively, but thought even more so that he could really fit the way we want to play offensively. And we couldn't have went out and got anybody better in the portal for that position. So we hit a home run by being able to keep CJ with us.
Yeah, you don't need to point to me defensively. I know you're trying to be nice to make me feel better, but because I'd rather talk about three-point shooting. And Joseph, obviously 36% from three last season. But, the big thing about three-point shooting is, the passing always makes good three-point shooters even better. Can you kind of talk about the backcourt of South Florida, because this is a little bit of a team preview day of how the backcourt's been working in your favor.
Obviously, we got C.J. Brown here, and, you can't stop C.J. from getting to the basket. So
Are you holding the mic with two hands right now?
It's good. We need it close to your mouth anyway.
Just
so
ready to shoot.
It's
Just
like-
ready to shoot,
Yeah.
Coach.
Yeah.
Just always ready to shoot. Yeah.
Talladega Nights.
Yeah. What do I do with my hands? Yeah.
Nah, but having CJ definitely helps me out a lot because no one can stay in front of him. So if someone helps off me, CJ just makes the corner pass. I'm wide open. We got Wes Enos, he can get downhill. Xavier Brown, he can get downhill, and they can't be stopped. So, it's just really a thing of, do you want to give up twos? Do you want to give up threes? So that just makes my life a lot easier, not having guys who can be guarded, basically.
Now, Coach, you mentioned some of the reasons you took this job, but what has excited you the most about being at South Florida so far in your time there?
I think a big part is what we talked about, our leadership and their vision. We're so aggressive in such a positive way, right? I think one quote stands out from my press conference from our chairman of the board, Will Weatherford, and he said, while other universities are scaling back right now in the college athletics landscape, South Florida's charging forward, and they've proved that every single day. And so it's just a blessing to be there with the leadership we have. And tell you what, it's not bad living in Tampa, Florida either.
I know I'm jealous of the sun. You live in Florida, so.
No, it's the best. Yeah, absolutely. Love
Okay,
it.
you can rub it in.
Yeah, I'm happy to
Fine.
anytime.
All right. Anyway, continue. Ask your question.
CJ, let's get back to basketball. CJ, asking you about, again, from a preview perspective, guys, since you're handling it, you're initiating, you have to have understanding of everybody on the courts. A guy who's not here, Damian Collins, preseason second team, all American Conference. What's he kind of brought to the table in practice for you?
Having an athletic big such as Damian it's a great asset and something that you can always rely on. He's always doing the right thing, making the right play, making the right read, even offense and defense. He's in the right spot, jumping, blocking shots. Nothing's really getting past him at the rim, getting rebounds. Even his talk, him encouraging others and being a leader really helps and go a long way.
Joseph, you said that you were going to stay at Arkansas State if Coach stayed there. You came with him to South Florida. So what is it about Coach Hodgson that you just love playing for him so much?
He lets me shoot a lot of threes. That's the main thing.
What a great answer.
That is
What
phenomenal.
a great
I think you can
answer.
just mic drop. You don't even have to worry about holding it with two hands. Just let it
He gets
fall.
yelled at when he doesn't shoot him. I said, what more could you ask for?
How do you go when you talk about concepts, playing fast, shooting? The general thought is, well, let's just get a rebound, go run, everybody spot up for threes. There's an enormous amount to that. But conceptually of playing fast doesn't always just mean playing hectic, correct?
No, absolutely not. We're very analytics driven. We look at points per shot, expected shot value, points per possession, and so our guys from a personnel standpoint know where we want our shots to come from. And so a guy like Joe, if we can get him a three with 1 second off the shot clock, we're going to take that all day. And so teaching them how to play fast while still being structured and getting, highly valued shots is a big deal to us.
Certainly sounds like y'all are going to be fun to watch this year, guys. Thank you so much for joining the Tip-Off Show.
Yeah, thanks for having us.